Well, it's bound to say for now, isn't he? Because he has to, of course, say up till this point. But you think that they are really underestimating inflation and also looking at, well, let's say, old data?
Actually, they're overestimating inflation, not underestimating inflation. I think they're going to fight keeping reflationary momentum going over the next 12 to 18 months. And I also do believe, as you just said correctly, they're looking at the old data. They're looking at labor market slack. They're looking at Phillips curve. They're looking at capacity utilization. All of that are very much industrial age indicators. What they should be looking at is liquidity and what's happening right now. And the problem is Federal Reserve right now is destroying money. They're destroying roughly $50 billion every month.
How so?
Because they are selling back or reducing their portfolio. They're reducing the size of the balance sheet. That means U.S. monetary base is actually contracting, the fastest pace anytime since 1929. So what they should be looking at is what's liquidity, what's occurring within the U.S., but more importantly, what's occurring globally. Because remember, Federal Reserve is not the U.S. central bank. It is actually a global central bank.
Well, because it's the reserve currency of the world, precisely.
Because it is a reserve currency of the world.
So what do you think they should be doing?
Well, I think no further tightening is probably, in my view, the right approach. I also think that they will be forced at some point in time over the next 3 to 6 months to stop reducing the size of their balance sheet. They seem to believe that the size of the balance sheet is more important than the flow. It is clear from the market flow is far more significant than the size of overall accommodation. So to my mind, I think the world and financial markets will force them, A, stops trying to increase the cost of capital, and B, stop reducing the balance sheet at the same pace.
Victor, I'm going to just throw this chart from our GTV library, and what it's showing is what real Fed fund rates are.
Right.
Okay, and this is what we have. This is also showing in the white bars the spread between 2s and 10s.
Right.
Just about, coming to flattening around about there. You saw that with Kathleen. The yellow line is where Fed funds real rates are, and we are negative on that.
Yes, and we will continue to be so. And in fact, in my view, all cost of capital globally eventually will have to go negative. And the reason is very simple. It's a degree of leverage and over-financialization that we have globally. Pretty much every country now needs $3 to $4 of debt for every incremental dollar of GDP that they're generating. So if you continue...
Tell me why.
Well, that's a good question. There are many answers to that. Some blame Federal Reserve. To my mind, Federal Reserve and all other central banks and all the accommodation they've provided over the last 10 years was just a symptom. The real disease is low productivity. And then you can ask why productivity at the current pace. Has Federal Reserve contributed to that? Has technology contributed to that?
Well, are we measuring it the right way as well?
Well, we are, because for a very simple reason. If we're mismeasuring productivity, then real wages should have been rising and income and wealth inequality should have been falling. Instead, what we had for a very long period of time is flat to declining real wages and rapidly rising income and wealth inequality. That tells us that each ingredient perhaps is not valued correctly, but overall, we're about right.